My name is Ron Vroman. I'm the old man talking head for the Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly. Charlie gave us a prayer on our first one we did today. Uh, how about you, Richard?
Okay, I'll make a short one.
Please do.
God knows what we know, and God knows everything else. God bless us who know very little. Bless this show and all those who are listening. Amen.
And so it is. Okay, I got something over here. And what I would like to talk about is be aware or beware of false gods, deities, and politicians and their henchmen. I want to start with Q, where we go one, we go all. That does not sound like a constitutional Republican form of government to me. Ted Cruz barely qualifies to be an American state senator, much less a POTUS. Rubio is the same. Harris is a totally bogus vice president. 44 was a Muslim Manchurian candidate accepted by Senator Jockstrap McStain. May he serve his time in hell. The other should be tried for treason. 9/11 needs to be unwound. Fraud vitiates all. Both Donald Trump and his attorney, Rudy Giuliani, a member of the Council on Foreign Relations, a longtime member, those guys need to bring forth what they promised and didn't deliver on. That is Donald J. Trump, along with his JFK, RFK, and MLK. He could have been forthright and he wasn't. I'm convinced that goes back to the CIA. There really is an industrial military complex. Eisenhower identified it. And then they killed JFK for attempting to clean it up. It is now an industrial military banker, bar attorney, Muslim, royalist, legislative, judicial, executive, communist, socialist, capitalist, Georgia Guidestone complex. It's grown.
Hear ye.
Capitalist. Say what?
I said, hear ye.
Capitalism corrupts everything. There are pragmatic people with money that will bribe people with limited power that needs to be usurped. I heard that the Oregon Republican senators were paid $4 million in Federal Reserve notes not to walk out and shut down the criminal legislature. Donald John Trump is a pragmatic man. A capitalist. Wow. A product of his parents' generation. Very good at what he does. Pragmatic persons are willing to compromise their integrity and my freedom, liberty, and unalienable rights as codified in our founding documents for their best interests. Take a look at all the big time money people. Not one is with honor. I might accept Ross Perot, but I don't know. I'm picking on Donald J. Trump. People seem to want to forgive him. Samuel Clemens, in the guise of Mark Twain, nailed it. I misquote. It is easier to fool people twice than to convince them they were fooled the first time. These are facts. Donald J. Trump said, first we take their guns, then we deal with due process. Then he signed bump stock and the red flag, both infringements on our Second Amendment. That makes him an oathbreaker without honor. Fucking period. That is spelled Phuquing. Sounds the same, but it's spelled different. You could have left them, he could have left them on his desk for 10 days and they would have become law. But he broke his oath and signed them. I told you he was pragmatic. Donald John Trump lied about USMCA. It's worse than NAFTA. The John Birch Society did a comparison, and it is published side by side on their website. You can go look it up. Donald John Trump lied about releasing the JFK file and so much more. He is a master at plausible deniability. He said, I heard Kamala's citizenship is in doubt, but he never did what his oath required him. The Oregon Statewide Jural Assembly did. The docket number is available upon request. A presentment is coming soon. A friend of mine named William said to me, the right Republican wing and the left Democratic wing are the same bird with the same head. We must do it ourselves has been acquiesced to and defaulted on 30 times. Does anybody have anything they'd like to say on that?
Well, I think you're pretty accurate on Donald John Trump. I mean that he's a typical corporate. I call him ASSHOLES, but he always looks out for himself and has never helped us, the people, very much. Anything that he's done to help the people has been mostly helping his buddies, his friends.
Agreed.
Politicians,
to get
right?
started.
Yes, typical politician. Go ahead, Richard. You had some stuff to say?
And what about his assertion on Kamala Harris? Either she is or she isn't eligible under the Constitution to be the vice president. And what exactly were his words on her?
Exactly what his words were, I can't tell you. But on one of his off the cuff remarks to the press, he said, I read someplace or I heard someplace or somebody is bringing it to the attention of the courts that Kamala Harris is not qualified because she's not, what was the word he used? A natural born citizen, something like that. Anyhow, when you heard him say it, you knew exactly what he was talking about and you knew he was alluding to it, and then he didn't follow through with it. That right there is missed what you said.
Okay. And she's the daughter of a foreign national, right?
She's a daughter of two foreign nationals. Her dad was a student from Jamaica, and her mom was a Red Dot Indian. Go, William.
Basically here, the way I see it is that if, like we've understood by research, that the United States is actually a corporation called the United States Inc., then she fully does qualify for a corporate office called vice president. And so did Obama. Because it's a corporate office.
Okay, I'll go for all of that.
The Constitution is actually the bylaws and actually not anything to go under.
However, fraud vitiates all.
That's right.
And since March 1861, we've had color of law. So anything that Obozo and Harris and all the rest of them have done has been in color of law. And all we have to do is just roll it back. We're rolling Oregon back. We'll be back to November 8th, 1910 soon. And we'll uncover that and roll it back and eliminate the fraud. Then we have to help all the other 49 states do the same thing. And then, after we have a Congress assembled lawfully, we can assemble the United States lawfully again, and we can have Reconstruction that we didn't have in 1865. That's how I see it.
Yep.
Amen.
Ah, okay.
There's
There's
not really
another
much
one.
to talk about.
Well, you just gave me something to talk about, Richard. As the son of
Okay.
a Methodist minister, what do you know about the word amen? Because I hear several different stories about amen, and it's not something that you should conclude a prayer with.
Well, I don't recall a study on amen. It seems like it was always there, but there was never any rationale offered, even from my old man. Um, and I've always wondered about amen myself, but I don't really have anything to say about it. I think we could use different words interchangeably, you know, without any problem. I think people would understand if we use a different word like "that's it" or
And so it is what Charlie says, or something like that.
"so it is." Yeah, that's true.
And or period, right? Yeah, I've seen that debate online about the whole amen thing to do with that or something like that. I couldn't find anything in the Bible where it ever said amen.
Well, if it's true that we, as the speaker or the writer of what we say, are the ones that define what the words we use mean, if that's true, then hello is not a satanic greeting of hell. Oh, it's just hello that I learned when I was a kid. And
Yeah.
amen is really amen. It doesn't mean anything evil or satanic. And good morning is good morning, morning, meaning good start to the day. Or it does not mean good morning, mourning, which is uh, a lament.
Time to be sad.
Yeah.
There's CNN,
Who?
right? And
Who?
right, CNN, Communist
Yeah.
News
Okay.
Network.
Well,
So yeah,
Who uses?
we have to take everything in the context, right? Right.
well,
It looks
according,
like it.
I just looked up.
Well, the speaker of the word is the context.
So
Yes.
That's Ron's.
so how did they mean it? Is what we need to find out.
Yeah.
And
And
who
when
uses good morning as in being sad? Who uses that term?
Right.
Have a
Looks like Eric's on the phone and he wants to say something.
Yeah, I was just looking up the word "amen," and according to Wikipedia, for what that's worth, and I'll just leave it at that. It says "amen" is an Abrahamic declaration of affirmation first found in the Hebrew Bible and subsequently in the New Testament. It is used in Jewish, Christian, and Islamic worship as a concluding word or as a response to a response to a prayer.
okay.
I got specifically amen comes from Hebrew word, wait for it, amen. The name amen, all originated from Egypt or Kemet, meaning black land.
Hmm. All right. So if we never lived there, then I guess it doesn't mean that to us.
Yeah,
I
it
take
doesn't mean
I
that
take it
to
as
us.
let it be. I take it more like let it be or period or the end is how I take the word amen. If you don't know those other definitions, how could it ever mean that to you, right?
Or just ignore them. But then the the uh, the satanic people, and there are a hell of a lot of them out there. I
Yeah.
mean, it's incredible. Uh, does everybody forget that Hillary's daughter declared she was a follower of Satan and they published it? And her mother came along and said, no, 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 that's not what she meant. She was just kidding. That's published. That happened like 3 years ago.
Oh. Eric?
Yeah, Larry Nichols, who just died recently of lung cancer about a year or so ago, he was basically Bill Clinton's right-hand man. He actually admitted to being involved in some murders of some of those individuals that are on the Clinton list of dead. But he says that he had to escort Hillary out to California, where she was involved with witches' covens. Now, I don't know, I mean, it's just what someone says, but to make those kind of statements, knowing that the Clinton machine will come after you for even the most minor of infractions, that I don't know. He took him to federal court too, for what that's worth, and I've heard that poo-pooed, but suffice to say, he still did it, and I didn't see anyone else doing it.
That's true.
Okay, I have something I just noticed looking through the dictionary. Let me go back up to the top. So, amen appears in several different words, like herediment. I can't say that. Herod. It's her edit met. If anybody knows what that is. And then the next one is parliamentary. Seaman. Parliamentary. Parliaments. Parliament.
It's in
Parliamentara.
amen.
Parliamentara.
Yeah.
It's in a lot of these words that the seamen or the pirates would have used. English Americaments, attachmenta, attachmenta, parliament, parliamentary. So yeah, testaments. So there's ornaments. All have amen in it. Just kind of something I just noticed.
That sounds like something for Russell-J. Gould to get into. Syntax and all of that meanings of everything.
Yeah.
So how much time have we used, William?
Um, we probably got like another 5 minutes, I guess, if we wish. I can always fill it up with something.
Has anybody got any more they would like to say? I finished about everything I have to say on that subject.
Yeah, amendable, amendment. I yield.
Amen.
Yes, amen. Thank you guys for showing up and giving a hand on this.
Yeah.
Maybe we got another one in the book for William without too awfully much work.
Tell everybody what
I'd
we're
like
going
to
to
do
do
a
on the
show. I'd
first
like
and
to
the
do a
8th.
show where I'd like to do a show where we have a rehearsal and go over it. Initially.
What's that?
oh, oh, oh! I'm glad you spoke up, Richard. we can barely get it together to do a show, much less a rehearsal.
Right.
No, that's not true.
Yeah, it is.
Your prologue is, a guide to the rehearsal, but it needs to be rolled out sooner than the real time, so that we have some moments to think about it, and that's what rehearsing gives, is the time to think about it and to do something with it.
I
Think about
agree.
that.
Yes, I
Okay.
agree.
See, it's not that hard.
I'd like to bring something to the attention of everybody on Oregon. On May 1st, there's going to be 3 different rallies that I know of. There's going to be one in Oregon City. There's going to be another one in Salem at the Riverside Park, I believe it was. And then there's going to be the one that I'm really interested in. It's going to be in the plaza across from the State House. And that's going to be at noon on the 1st. And that one's going to be pretty much sponsored by Oregon's well regulated but unauthorized militia. And there's supposed to be several people from there on that one. Some people are afraid that Antifa might show up, but I'm not. Then on the
They have
8th,
no interest.
yeah, hopefully. Then on the 8th, we're going to have an arraignment and a trial for the 90 members of the Oregon legislature. And based on past experience, we'll show up and we'll do our job, and they won't appear. And in absentia, they'll receive their arraignment and their trial and their verdict. And that's what I think is going to happen. So, everybody that can, it'd be really good if you showed up at Salem on the 1st across from the State House, and then on the 8th across from the State House. And if you can only make one, make the trial on the 8th.
You make it there on the 1st, you can sign up to be a jury for the 8th.
Excellent. I withdraw my original statement. If you can only make one, at least make it on the 1st and sign up to be a juror, because we're going to need jurors for a really long time.
Amen.
Yeah, amen. I see Eric with a hand up.
So the one at the waterfront is a 2A rally. What is the one in Oregon City? Is that 2A also? And what about the one across from the State House?
The one across from the State House is going to be militia.
Just
And the
militia.
one, yeah, that's the main focus. And I don't know what 2A means.
Second Amendment.
Yeah, well, that looks like they're all going to be Second Amendment then. But the one down by the river is going to be held. Mike Neerman is a representative, and he's high on the speaker list on that one.
Is that good or bad?
He's not. Well, he's not one of my favorite people. And on the 8th, he's going to be a defendant and hopefully tried and convicted and a verdict passed. So I don't think much of.
Have you reached out to him personally, Ron?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And he knows that he's going to be tried and convicted in absentia if he doesn't show up, right?
Yeah. He sends me his little Northwest newsletter or whatever every day. I get it. And every day, well, at least 4 out of 5 days, I send him back some information. And frequently it's, we're going to try you on the 8th.
Well, it seems like he would be an ideal guy to stand up in the witness box and say, "This is why we've been doing what we're doing," or "This is why they and not me," or something. But it seems like he'd be an ideal guy because he got sanctioned by Tina Kotek, right?
Yeah,
She stood
and
up.
he opened the door and all of that stuff.
Yeah.
But the thing that really counts is he went there on the day that the legislature was in session and the doors were locked and we couldn't go in. So he broke his oath. There is just no doubt about it.
Okay, but are you sending him stuff that could be included in his newsletter
Oh yeah.
with a
But you
request
don't,
to include it?
yeah, but he's not going to. He's refused so far.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to know if you have thought of it and are you doing it?
Yeah.
He's not one of my favorite people either. He's a long way from it.
Yeah, I remember when you introduced me to him in Salem.
Okay.
Okay. I think we're about
Ron?
done, William.
Ron,
Yeah.
I have one more thing to say.
Okay.
In Numbers 5:22, King James Version, and the waters that causeth the curse shall go into thy bowels, and make thy belly to swell, and thy thigh to rot. And the woman shall say, Amen, Amen.
Wow. Wow. I think we better call it right there. That was great.
All right. Thank you, guys. I'm out of here.
You. Bye.
They do not want to let go of this. They do not intend on losing here. And we do not intend giving it back to them.
And then the bullets started flying. And then he jumps out of the car, and he's got both his hands up. And he got out of the car, and he had his hands in the air. He's like, "Just shoot me then. This is what you want, to shoot me." And they did. They shot him dead with his hands in the air, and I saw it. I swear to God. He was just walking with his hands in the air. And they shot him. And they shot him dead, and then after he was down on the ground, shot him 3 more times.